Do you have more than $1,000 in your bank account? If you have too much money in your checking account, you're making a huge mistake. Any extra money that's not directed appropriately will find itself burning a hole in your pocket. This could result in missed opportunities, and it could mean significant delays to your retirement. In general, having 1 or 2 months of expenses in your checking account is the proper amount, with any more posing an issue. You might think you're doing the right thing by keeping more, but there are a few reasons why this could potentially be a problem. Let's take a look at 7 different things you should do with that extra money to ensure you're putting the right foot forward. Watch to the end to hear what could be the best investment you will ever make. My name is Chris, and I help teach people about money, personal finance, and investing. If you're interested in improving your financial future, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if this video is helpful. Number 7. Pay off debt. Taking money out of your checking account and applying it to your debts isn't always comfortable. Doing this almost feels like you're spending that money because you're no longer in control of the funds. $5,000 sitting in your account feels much better than a $5,000 decrease in your mortgage balance. You might be reluctant to do this, but by applying extra money directly towards the principal of your loan balance, you'll be able to become debt-free much sooner. When your loans are paid in full, you're not going to wish you still had that money in your account and are still paying interest to the lender. Use this money to pay off high-interest debts as soon as possible to reduce the total amount of interest you'll pay before focusing on low-interest loans such as a mortgage. Number 6. Create an emergency fund. Having a fully funded account for emergencies is an important step that should be prioritized. It's suggested that your emergency fund has 3 to 6 months of living expenses. If you're self-employed or have a variable income, 6 months is a better idea, while those with a fixed income and little financial risk should be fine with only 3 months. This should be a savings account that's accessible, and it should be reserved for strictly emergencies, such as a job loss or major home repair. Having this money set aside for unfortunate circumstances will keep you from having to go into debt. The last thing you want to do when you're trying to improve your financial situation is go into debt due to some unforeseen cost. It can be tempting to skip this step because savings accounts pay very little interest. The value of your money will slowly erode due to inflation, but the added security this savings will provide is valuable. Number 5. Maintain your belongings. Preventative maintenance is the key to longevity with many of the things that we own, especially the items that are expensive to repair or replace. Putting any extra money into maintaining these expensive items could save you a lot of money down the road. If you're a homeowner, make sure you're doing the proper maintenance on your house. Servicing the heating and cooling systems will make them last many more years than one that's been neglected. Maintain your vehicle and stay up to date on services that will extend its life. You'd be surprised how long a car will last when it's been well maintained. This will keep it running well, but more importantly, a long-lasting car means you don't need to buy a new car every few years, wasting thousands in an endless cycle of car payments and high insurance premiums. Number 4. Invest. Once you have enough money in your bank account, you should begin to invest so that you can see that money grow. The sooner you begin investing into appreciating assets, the sooner you'll realize the power of compound interest and your investments will snowball. When people keep extra cash instead of investing, they're losing out on a significant amount of money. If you have $5,000 in cash in your checking account that's not being used, it's a wasted opportunity. By investing that money into an S&P 500 fund earning an average return of 10%, after 10 years, that $5,000 will have grown to almost $13,000. After 20 years, it will have grown to over $33,000, and after 30 years, it will have grown to over $87,000. 30 years can be considered a long time, but when you make it a habit to have more cash on hand than is necessary, it's unmistakable how much money could be missed out on by not investing it. Number 3. Invest in yourself. As cliché as this sounds, making an investment in yourself could be one of the best things you'll do, and it isn't something to ignore. There are many different ways you can do this, and which you choose comes down to personal preference. What's a skill that you've been interested in learning? Would you like to learn something that will help you make more money? Perhaps you'd like to get a college degree so you can increase your income with a new career, or further your college education in order to receive a better position. Learning how to become a better investor could provide exponential returns that will continue to reward you for your entire life. Learning doesn't have to be expensive either, as there are many resources available for free online. Even just reading a book could be a worthwhile investment in yourself that could give you the knowledge to get you where you'd like to be. Many successful people will tell you to never stop learning. Number 2, start a business. Have you ever considered starting a business? Starting a business doesn't have to be as complicated as it sounds, and you can start small with just a few hours per week. This could be in the form of a side hustle that will supplement your income with the potential of eventually replacing your main income source. Let's say someone works a 9-to-5 job, but they hate the routine and would love to start a food truck business on the weekend. With some time and experience, the food truck business could far surpass what they were previously earning at their main job. Quitting the 9-to-5 and focusing on the business full-time is an option that didn't exist before. An excellent example of a low-cost business that you could start in your free time is a mobile detailing business. The startup costs are minimal, and you can start by working just a few hours per week. As these businesses progress, you might find that they're more enjoyable or more profitable than your previous job, and your time is best spent growing them. Number 1, save for a house. Being a homeowner isn't a wise choice for everyone. Some people move too often, need the flexibility that renting provides, or they're just unable or unwilling to properly maintain a property. Regardless, buying a home can be one of the best investments you'll ever make. Firstly, instead of paying rent to your landlord, who will then use the money to pay down their mortgage, you can pay down a mortgage of your own. Every month when you make the payment to the bank, the loan balance slowly goes down. Secondly, your housing costs will remain the same year after year. Sure, the taxes, insurance, and utilities will rise slightly over time, but the price you paid for the home is never going to change. With a fixed-rate mortgage, you can enjoy the same payment year after year instead of hoping your landlord doesn't raise the rent beyond what you can afford. Also, real estate prices go up over long periods of time. According to a study done by Black Knight, the national average home appreciation rate is about 4% per year. 4% isn't a very high growth rate, but the return on your down payment will be substantial. For example, if you put $100,000 down on a $500,000 house and the home appreciates 4% in the first year, that's $20,000. $20,000 in appreciation with a $100,000 down payment is a 20% return on your down payment in the first year. If the cost of owning a home is comparable to what you'd be paying in rent, this might be the best investment you can make. There are many smart moves you can make with $1,000 or less instead of hoarding it in your checking account. Aside from the recommended money in your checking and savings, any extra could be directed elsewhere that could have a hugely positive impact on your future. Any excess left in these accounts will cost you money in the form of a devalued dollar due to inflation. Take a look at your goals and use those funds sensibly.